Here we have the clock from my 1969 Chevy Corvette. I was in the dash replacing the heater core, and thought I'd take the clock out and see if I could get it working again. I found a nice video online by Problem Solver Garage that explained how to get it out and what to do. It basically said put some lubricant on the gears here and apply voltage and see if you can get it going. And this was the lubricant I used. Little Lockies. This is the back cover and some other small parts back here for the positive. So I did that, and I was pushing on it with my fingers, some of the gears, trying to get it going. And then I applied power. And this is what happened. Oh my God. It's like a time travel movie. Look at that thing go. I don't know what the hell I did. I did break the second hand off, which kind of upset me. This little white part here is the back, what I would call the backstay, kind of like that part right there for the minute hand. That's just the backstay. I took it out and I decided to touch it to ground inside the car one more time, and somehow I just bumped that second hand and I snapped it off, which is kind of upsetting. So what's supposed to happen is this arm here is supposed to get a spark and snap back and then slowly come up. And this takes a few minutes to come up, and then it hits that contact and then it snaps back. That way it's not draining your battery all the time. It's just a little spark about every 12 minutes or so. And that's what you hear in these old cars. You'll hear a like a tick, like a loud tick, and then you can hear the clock slowly ticking away after that. Then after about 12 minutes, you hear a little click again, and then you hear it ticking. But here, I'll pull it back. You just see the second hand goes backwards. It's not supposed to do that. And then I let it go, and it just advances like crazy. I may have bumped something in there. I don't know. Because when I set the time, the second hand moves like crazy. And I don't remember it doing that the day before. So I might have bumped something in there when I was trying to get it moving with my fingers, but I have not figured out what it is. But that's going to go back in the car, and I'm not going to leave it hooked up. Because it's not working right. I can't have it doing this and draining the battery. Whee! I'll put it together and put it in the car and finish up this video. Just thought of one more thing I wanted to show you. Right here where these contacts are, you can see it actually making contact in the dark. You can actually see the spark, and like I said, it's only supposed to do that sporadically. So look right there. Turn off one light. You can see the spark there. I'll turn off another light. You can see that spark there right in the middle. I don't know what I did, but it's not good. Okay, I just slid the clock. This is the back of the clock into the back of the cluster. It's held down with two small 1/4-inch bolts. Here's the light that lights up the clock when the lights are on. It's only got one wire going to it because it gets grounded through those little snaps. Here is the power wire, the orange wire. We'll hook it up. You can hear it spinning. Let me see if I can get this cluster to stand up. I can't with one hand, but here's my finger. Hang on a minute. Okay, so that's what it looks like. That's probably why the power wire was disconnected. So next I'm going to go on to the oil pressure gauge, which you may find the key here. Does not show any oil pressure. And we'll take that out and try to fix that. Hope you enjoyed the video of my my funny clock.